Cowboys did not have an overwhelming performance. They were opportunistic with turnovers, short fields, fumble return for a touchdown that made the game 18-0, and then they just kind of held on, built the lead to 24-0, and then that's when Washington began to come back. And they did make it very interesting, got it down to 27-20, and who knows what ultimately could have happened. It just felt like Washington literally ran out of time. If that game's a little bit longer, Washington forces a tie, and maybe they end up in overtime. But Dak Prescott had a couple of interceptions, including an interception return. One of those what are you thinking moments when you're up by 14 points, 13 points actually, late in the game. Just a strange kind of a day. But the Cowboys get a critical win because Washington was right on their heels with a 2-game deficit and 2 games against each other down the stretch and 5 to play. Washington could have taken that division. Becomes a lot harder now. They'll get together again coming up. But now with a 3-game lead, that's just what a huge, huge swing. But the Cowboys did not. We talked about it with the Browns. We talked about it with the Bucks. We could talk about it all day long about the Vikings on Thursday night. You got to have that killer instinct. You got to put teams away. And, even though the Cowboys got the win, they failed to put away their division rival, Mike.
Well, yeah. Listen, the offense wasn't fantastic. You lose Tyron Smith again, so we'll see what goes on there. That pick six that Holcomb had for Washington, when you watch that play, remember there was a D lineman in front of because everybody's going, how does he not see him? Well, there was a D lineman right in front of Dak. Dak saw his guy, but didn't see Holcomb coming across because it was blocked by the D lineman that was in the face of Dak Prescott. So it really looked bad. Like, how do you not see that guy right there? Well, because there's a large 300-pound man in front of you that blocked him from seeing that, and you thought you had your guy that was wide open. This Dallas defense, I thought, did a fantastic job. We can get into Washington, and Kyle Allen comes in for Heineke and leads a comeback. But, they're up 24-zip, 27-8 is Dallas. That defense has been playing well. They score on defense. Micah Parsons, what more can you say about him and what he's doing? I thought Isaiah Simmons, who the Cardinals got from Clemson, was going to be along these lines of kind of that, be able to play linebacker, be able to rush, be able to cover, kind of that jack of all trades. Micah Parsons has come in and is just, imagine if he was just an edge rusher, the sacks he'd have, or if he was just a linebacker, the interceptions he might have. He is just, but they're playing him incredibly well in how they're using him, whether off the edge or blitzing up the middle. He's beaten, all pros on offensive line to get these sacks. It's incredible what he's doing. This defense, Gregory coming back and how he's playing. The defense is playing well at times. Again, we've seen them not play as well at times. It's been kind of the story of the year of inconsistency, but for the most part, boy, they put on a show yesterday, and then the offense just really couldn't put the nail in the coffin there. And then Kyle Allen comes in and starts scoring, leading scoring drives a bit for Washington. But that was, that was kind of the MO for the day, wasn't it? We've gone over just about every game where a team had a big lead and didn't hold it. So it's not like Dallas was alone in this.
Yeah, Heineke had that knee injury in the fourth quarter, and I think sometimes teams just exhale a little bit too early and the other team doesn't go along with it. And the next thing you know, it's a more interesting game than it needed to be. That defense, to have Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Randy Gregory all available at the same time, it just shows you how good it can be. And it doesn't have to be this high-powered Dallas offense, and it wasn't yesterday. We mentioned Prescott, couple of interceptions. Tony Pollard didn't play because of a plantar fascia that he tore on his long touchdown run, the 58-yarder against the Saints a week and a half ago. So they really didn't have the offensive kick, but it was 4 turnovers and 5 sacks, and the defense rose up and took care of it. And we're seeing that ability. If the offense is down, the defense can be up. If the defense is down, the offense can be up. And the Cowboys have some balance there. But that defense is capable of being special. And you mentioned Parsons. I talked to him after the game. To me, Mike, he's got some old school football in him. He's got some throwback, some physicality at a time when that's being legislated out of the sport. And it's not dirty. You saw what he did to Taylor Heineke. Gets to him and just throws him down. Not roughing the passer, but he's physically capable to do it, and I'm going to throw him down. And he did. And he likes lining up all over the place. He says that contributes to the chaos he creates. because nobody really knows where he's coming from. And he's got the flexibility to stand up, put a hand in the dirt, move inside, move outside. So you always have to be conscious. He's quickly becoming almost like a Troy Polamalu was, where you always have to know where this guy is. Because wherever he is, if he has a crack that he can slip through, you have a problem.
Listen, without a doubt. I mean, when you start to have to be game plan for and know exactly where you are, and that's what's going on, and it's his rookie year. Remember, this is a guy that opted out, too, his last year at Penn State. And he's just come in, and I can't tell you how impressive it is that he does it from everywhere. There are guys that could just are edge rushers, and they're really good there. But he edge rushes. He ends up, when you can match him up and get him on a back. Well, he beat Brandon Sheriff, a all-pro right guard on one of those. Then when he's matched up on a back, I mean, are you kidding me? What a disadvantage that is. But to have the ability to not know if he's coming, is he coming, is he not, where's he dropping, doing coverage, not knowing where he's going to be. And then the way on a run, the way he fills and plays behind the line, it really is incredible for what he's doing and how easily he's picked it up in a very short time. So, I mean, all the credit in the world, obviously, to that defense, the coaches, and certainly to Micah Parsons in giving the coaches the ability to move him around. He has to be a good enough player to be able to say, we're going to move you all over the place. You can't do that and just get stoned everywhere. It doesn't do any good, obviously. So he, with his ability to get matched up, whether it's an offensive tackle, an offensive guard, or running back, he's beaten them all. So, yeah, now you have to account for number 11, and that goes all the way to the game plan that you get handed on every Wednesday.
And that's the key, too. You got to be smart enough to understand what your role is in relation to the rest of the players if you are moving around, so there aren't gaping holes that you vacate when you do this, or you don't blow your assignment, or whatever the case may be. And Peter King said a few weeks back that he sees a lot of Lawrence Taylor in Micah Parsons. Sims was saying that last night on Football Night in America, and I asked him about these comparisons to Lawrence Taylor. He said, I think LT is one of the greatest pass rushers of all time, but I want to be my own person, my own man. I want people to be like, you pass rush like Micah Parsons. So we see that attitude. He doesn't want to be the guy who's compared to somebody else. He wants to be the guy to whom others compare themselves, and he's already on his way. And I know, because there's already the pushback. We've seen plenty of great defensive players over the years who start off incredibly well as rookies and don't sustain it. And Javon Curse, who had 14 sacks as a rookie with the Titans and was never quite that great ever again. Parsons is too short of Curse's rookie record. He's got 12 sacks. We'll see what – look, let's just enjoy what he's doing now. Right. But I think we're seeing enough from him now. The versatility to me is the key. That versatility, if he can stay healthy enough to play the way he's playing, that versatility is what's going to carry him to multiple Pro Bowls and All-Pro and Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, they may as well just name the award after him. He's going to win that. The question is he going to be Defensive Player of the Year as well, Mike? He could win both.
Yeah, he could, without a doubt. I know Myles Garrett is up there for what he's doing, T.J. Watt for the sacks that he has as well. But the difference, since we're bringing up, what do you do after that? And I am with you. Let's enjoy what we're doing now. Let's not look 2-3 years down the road and see is he still doing it. But the difference is, you mentioned a guy like Javon Curse. Javon Curse was an edge rusher. You can do things there no matter what edge he's rushing on. You can chip, you can double team, your back can catch him in the ribs, a tight end can hit him before he deals with the offensive tackle. With Micah Parsons, because he's so versatile and you can move him, doesn't mean you can't. It's a little tougher to get a bead on him and say we're going to double him. When he's lining up in the middle, you can't just say, well, we're doubling him, because you know what? You don't even know if he's coming. Javon Curse, for the most part, is rushing. Micah Parsons may not be rushing. You think he might be, and you're like, uh-oh, but then he may drop into coverage. So you don't know, so you can't get a bead on him as much as you can, just like your quote-unquote normal edge rusher. He's so much more than that.
And just amazing to watch. And the Cowboys, who had a little bit of a rough patch there, that was a huge win for them yesterday, and they continue forward. They got a good game coming up with the Cardinals in a couple of weeks. They got Washington again. They're going to make the playoffs. The question is, Do they have any shot at climbing above the 4 seed? Probably not, but they'll be the division champions. They'll have a primetime game, presumably, in the wild card round, and where they go from there, we'll see.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.